Alright, in this video I'm going to talk about a tool in Linux which is called Perf, P-E-R-F. It's basically a performance analyzing tool which basically show you the CPU performance and system profiling. Okay, it's a renowned tool used by almost all the Linux experts and people. So in this video I'm going to take you through the tools utility with some sort of subcommands and all this stuff. Okay, this tool has got few subcommands which I'll demonstrate to you. Okay, so hopefully this will be a good learning curve for you to get up with it and start using it. You should basically. I generally don't recommend other tools or this strongly, but I am strongly recommending you to, once you get over this video or the information I'll provide you in the description section, you should go through it and start using it. It will benefit you immensely. Okay, it did to me. That's why I'm making this video. Okay, so without further ado, let me spawn up a terminal. Okay, and okay, let me zoom in first because a lot of people have complained about their so this is at most I can zoom in so you can see me. So but before starting, let me sip my coffee. Hot coffee first thing in the morning is unparalleled. Okay, so this is about Perf tool, right? I will show you how you can install it if and only if it is not available from your specific Linux distribution you are using it, although I believe it should be in your OS default repository. So if you try it with your default package manager which pull from your OS specific default repo, it should be there. If it is not, there is a way to do that which I'll show you if I can remember. Basically, I'll give you the URL where you can git pull it and just make it, or I'll show you where you can find it. Okay, so likewise, let me start it because I'm sitting on Gentoo. If I do, and see, I already have installed it on the specific distribution I'm sitting on, so I'm not going to install it again. Okay, likewise you can try your distribution, whatever the distribution you are using, to your native package manager to get things going for you. Okay, so in this case everything I'll be running as root. Okay, so and importantly I'll show you how you could do so without being root, but that's later part. So I'm intentionally doing it to root so you can get a sense of it. Now let me, it has Perf has got a few stuff to start with. Let me, if once you installed, you should get a man page like this. This is the Perf man page. Okay, there are several options you can see. Okay, and on the bottom section you can see there are other tool attached, other sub command are attached with it, tools attached with it. Okay, so few of them I'll touch upon, so you'll get familiar with it. Okay, it's a very important tool. So first thing, let me describe the sub command we are going to use it one by one. The first thing is that you need to write like perf list. Okay, what it does, I'm just writing it out so you can see. It will list all the measurable events. Basically, Perf will tap all the events inside your system to give you to give you some sort of insight into the system, what it is actually doing, what is your system actually doing, what is Linux doing. Okay, this is the first command. So if I run perf list without any argument and press enter, see, as you can see, the event listed on the left hand side, and the right hand side it's showing you what sort of event is this. Is this a hardware event? Is this a software event? Okay, there are plenty of events you can tap to. Okay, so if you are inclined, curious enough, this tool is damn powerful, provided you have to have a little bit of understanding what are these things mean to you. So you need to read some, to understand some, to use this using this tool airy-fairy way, it doesn't lead you anywhere. Okay, so you have to have minimal understanding to use it. This is extremely useful, very powerful command. Okay, so you can see there are several events. All you have to do, perf list. Okay, so the next thing is that there is a command called perf record, which will record the event, what is happening in the system. Okay, if I write perf record, this will create a file called perf data, which put all the information what is happening in your system in that particular file. So you can query that file in different other perf sub command to get the inside out of those gathering, the information gathered in that particular file. Okay, so how do you do that? So if you run this without other, I'll show you how you can run with different argument, but for the starting, if I just press enter, nothing happening, you see, right? But it is happening behind the scene. So I'm letting it happening behind the scene for a few seconds. The only way to come out, you need to press Ctrl+C to terminate it and to create the file perf.data. Okay, okay, so see, I have pressed Ctrl+C and you can see two lines printed out. It says some summary, woken up 162 times to write data, and it says how many what is the size of the data it has sampled in that particular file. If I do, see, it just created that particular file. Okay, and we'll using this file to get the insight of the data collected by the perf record to show you the enlisting. Okay, now so if I do there is a command called perf report. Okay, perf report. This command reads the perf.data, the file which we have just created by perf record, and display the profile. Okay, this command will, if I run this command, it will read the perf.data file which created by the previous command which I run as perf record, and show you the profile related stuff. So let me run it for you. Okay, if I do, see, now you can clearly see I just run perf report. It basically translating or showing the stat coming out of the perf data file which we have recorded in the previous step. Okay, and you can see this is very explicit. You can see where it is spending time, how it is doing. Okay, so I'm doing skin casting, this skin casting with ffmpeg. That's why you can see the consumption rate is much higher for that particular piece, and it will show you all other stuff. Okay, and you can see there on the right hand side, there is within the bracket there's something called written k and something is written dot. So those signifies, k stands for it is related to kernel space stuff, dot related to user space stuff. Okay, so this is the translation basically. Okay, this mnemonic stands for this kind of stuff, and it will show you all the event it is happening in your system. Right now this is happening in my system where I'm sitting. Okay, all I did once I collected the perf data or created the perf data by perf record, I ran perf report or perf stat. Okay, now if I cancel it, just pressing now there is another command. These are all sub command, perf stat. Okay, what this command will do, this command will do performance statistics. Okay, performance okay, it will show you the performance statistics. Okay, so let me show you this command. If I run perf stat, and if I press Ctrl C, see, this will show you the stat of the perf command event we have gathered in a perf.data file by running perf record. I'm wildly hoping you are following me. So if you do not skim and seeing what I'm showing to you on the screen and commenting, so you'll be fine to get along. Okay, so please have patience. So it is important to see what is happening on the screen, okay, as I'm explaining to you. So I have pressed Ctrl C just to spit out the stat of the perf record we have, perf data we have collected before. Okay, these are the stuff you can see. It spitted out a lot of information. I'm telling again and again, I have said it once before, that you have to have a little bit of understanding about your system, because by running it blindly doesn't make you any good if you do not have any understanding what it is spitting out. So this tool is specifically designed for somebody who are aware of the system a little bit. Not necessarily you have to be but you have to have a little bit of understanding what it is trying to do. Then only all this information spitting out on the screen makes a lot of sense. Okay, this is a kind of heads up. So like every good tool, perf to have the top like command which will show you real-time event in the system. If I write perf top and press enter, and it will show you like just any other top interface in Linux. In a real time, it will show you the event what is happening in the system. Bloody good, isn't it? So now I will show you how the individual commands can measure by its statistics by run perf. Okay, so this is important. This is what you are seeing. I ran perf top, which is a tool which will show you the a live event what is happening in the system. Okay, so if I press, okay, so the next thing is that I want to show you how you can measure the event of a particular command. Okay, so if I run perf stat, okay, and iostat, a random command, see, it show you the command output as well as you can see performance counter stat for iostat. It will show you what is the event that particular command has encountered. This context switches, CPU migration, page fault, cycle, instruction, these things are very internal, and unfortunately you need to know this, what it means. That means you need to understand what these are stuff. This is basically related to CPU related stuff, right? So this tool is geared towards the people who has got a little bit of understanding what the CPU is doing. Okay, so there is no rocket science, but you need to spend time to figure out what this events means. So once you come to know about it, you are better off running this command. So it will give you more insight in a proper manner, so you can basically translate it what it means. Okay, so this is the stuff, and likewise you can measure a CPU performance of a particular process, like if I do, say for instance I'm running FFmpeg, right? Okay, so the PID of the 24276, if I run perf stat hyphen p for process, okay, 24276, that is the PID of the FFmpeg I'm running. Okay, and if I make it interval for 5 seconds, okay, and if I run it, it will spit out the stat. See, it measured the process ID of a specific process, how it is working in your system behind the scene. Okay, so that sleeping can be done in, that sleep timer can be given in different number. I just show you a rudimentary one, but the point is that you can measure any process, specific process which is running in your system, to find out what it is doing behind the scene. Okay, so if the chances are high, if you do not have understanding of the events what CPU generates, this output look foreign to you, and it's not surprising. So people will learn to get the best use of a tool. Okay, so you can tap so many stuff, any specific event or anything specific. Lots of events are there, right? So you can say, for instance, if I run perf record, E stands for events and cycles. If I can type properly today, and 10, and basically I'm trying to capture the cycles event in the system. Okay, once it captures, okay, it has captured. Now if I run perf report, which is what I did before, and see, this is the output came out of that perf.data file, because it was capturing all the cycle related activity of CPU in the perf.data file. Now I ran to report what we have gathered in that perf.data file to show with a 10 seconds sleep interval. Okay, so this is what it comes out. Okay, so in the you can see there is it show you the result in a columnar fashion or tabulated fashion with proper heading with it. Okay, so I have mentioned it before, I'm mentioning it again because this is the stuff you are looking to. That K within the square bracket signifies it's a kernel event. That dot within the square bracket, it signifies a user level event. Okay, so this is what you need to know a little bit about. And there are many ways to show you. So if you wanted to run all the events, there is a command called perf script, and it will again to parse the perf.data file. If I see, we recently you saw I ran the command previously to capture event related to cycles. Now I'm running a subcommand called perf script, which will enlist me how it has processed the data. Okay, how it has processed the data. Okay, so it is if the output is encrypted, because again deciphering needs some taking, so you have to accustom yourself to get the best out of it, but it is very explicit and to the point, so it will help you. I ran perf script. Okay, so there is a way you can see the header it also generate. Perf script, and if you pass the header argument, you can see I wrote hyphen header. It will show you the header with the event generated. See, it not only show you the how the post processing of the data of the cycle event what we have captured in perf.data file. Now it is showing you the header related to that, lot of which I think more decipherable to normal people who run this without having much understanding, because it shows you more information in human friendly manner. That's all right, but the actual meat lies on the bottom of the screen. That is what the how the event occurs in cycle. Okay, so this is a very good way to see what is happening in your machine by this tool. Okay, it's extremely powerful, very useful, and people should use it. I recommend. I strongly said it twice in this video. And so the last thing I wanted to show you that there is an annotate command. It will basically show you the disassembling stuff. Okay, and let me run it for you. You are finding similarity with the other tool? You are bound to. stdio is the output, is. I'm passing a v flag for verbose stuff. If I run it, see, it spit out a lot more data on the screen. Okay, and it shows you all the disassembling of the instruction or the event we have captured. It shows you the assembly too. So you're bound to understand how the register in CPU play out, how the data is getting put inside the register and play out with other stuff. Okay, so again, so this is not about discouraging. The tool is there, but you have to have some understanding how the CPU works, or what the CPU put data in the system you are running Linux. So this output will become more sensible to people who have little bit of understanding. Okay, to be very honest, I do not understand everything, but few things I can pick up due to some sort of familiarity, because I have encountered it, I have stumbled upon on it in some other fashion, some other way, so I can relate to that. So that comes just because of out of using experience, nothing big. So it can happen to you, but you have to have a little bit of understanding what you are seeing Okay, so this is a purely CPU register related stuff, assembly code, what it is performing in the CPU. Okay, so these tools are there to assist you if you have little bit of understanding. It's same. I'm telling the same thing again and again because this is such an important tool, and you are supposed to know about what it is spitting out. It is extremely useful if you know what you are trying to accomplish, what you are trying to do. Okay, so now there is a way to, I as you can see, I run all the stuff as a root. Okay, so this is one of the command. If you run as root or super user, you will get but you can easily run it as a normal user, provided you do something like this. I'm trying to proxys kernel of event paranoid. If you put this value into that specific file, I hope you can see what I'm writing, right? Let me do it. Echo 0 redirect to proxys kernel perf event paranoid. Sorry. So if you put this value inside this file perf event paranoid, and if you wanted to write it in the, now if I do, okay, so I can write, if I do, I can use perf as a normal user. These changes is required, or if you want to make it a permanent to use as a normal user, then you have to write in a sysctl.conf file so it can survive the reboot. Okay, so here I am trying to fuse the value in a virtual file system which is created while Linux boot in the proc system, okay, to give us the facility to run the perf related command as a normal user. Okay, in this video I ran all the perf command as a root, but you could run all the command as normal user provided you run the steps of what you are seeing on the screen. Okay, so now I have shown you and demonstrated you how you could do so with the perf. It is an extremely important tool. Let me open. I'll give you the link of the page you should look for. Let me give you that. Let me pull out from my bookmark perf wiki. This is the page you should look. I'll give you this particular link in the description section below. You should go through it. Okay, so let me open that particular page. So this is an important page. Okay, so you should go through it to understand better. Okay, So you can see you can easily clone the repo if your OS repository doesn't contain the perf tool. You can easily clone it, okay, and start using it. Or if you have Linux source, kernel source, you can compile the perf tool, okay. There are certain functionalities there, like to set the capability. I have covered the Linux capabilities in 2 videos back. You can check those out in that particular video. So it will set different capabilities for the perf binary, so you can use it with those capabilities as it is mentioned here. Once it is done, you can take away the capability from that particular binary. As simple as that. Okay, so these are the steps it mentioned clearly. So this page you should check. There are plethora of things you can do with perf. Okay, so I'm just showing it to you that it is an extremely important tool and it is a very powerful tool. So you should get a lot of insight from the system where you are sitting. Okay, so I hope this video will give you some sort of heads up. This is a tool. This is the third and final time I'm proclaiming and telling you, you should learn and you should use to get a performance related stuff of your CPU. Okay, so I hope this video will give you some sort of heads up. Thanks for watching.